Good afternoon, it's Sunday. It's Sunday afternoon. I've just had a really nice long bath this morning and read my book for probably about an hour. I got the new Ellie Griffiths book from the library on Friday. That's the fourth one in the series that I'm reading and I couldn't wait to get started, so I've been reading that over the weekend. It's a very strange day today. There's a storm brewing, so it's been wild, the sun's out, there's blue sky, it's going to get wild again. I think the wind's to get up later on. I've just had a lovely lunch of scrambled eggs on toast, such comfort food, and I'm having a cup of tea. I'm going to sit down and do a teeny bit of knitting, I think, on my little project here. I haven't edited that video yet, but that's a job for this week. So far this morning, what have I done? Sorted out my printer and got it working after my new internet hub last week. It wasn't working properly, so I figured that out and I feel really good for having figured that out because it wasn't straightforward. Sorted out some stock, tidied stuff away. Yeah, that's what I've done today. I'm going to go upstairs and have a little play later on in my sewing room, using my big desk, which is always a nice place to sit and do any kind of crafting. So I'm going to have a go at getting my watercolour paints out and I'm going to have a go. I've been watching a few tutorials online, a few YouTube videos where they do it in, I think they're doing it in like real time, just doing a bit of drawing and then colouring it in with the paints, and that's what I want to do. So I think I'm just going to put something on that I can copy as it is on the screen and just get a bit of confidence up and follow their techniques on how to do some things, because that's what's been stopping me, just not knowing how to do stuff. I did have a go a couple months ago and now looking back I can see that I could have done it differently now that I've watched these other videos. So be interesting one day to maybe go back and try the same type of picture again, and once I've learned some skills. But I'll video a bit of that. I'm sure you'd like to see. But yeah, Josh was home later on. Josh was home at 4 o'clock tonight, so I'm going to just have a couple of hours to chill before he gets back. Didn't sleep brilliantly last night, so I'm a bit tired, so I'm yawning already. Not a good start for the week. Yeah, I'm hoping Josh is going to be in the mood to chat to me about his trip to London and stuff. He's got school tomorrow, so I hope he's not going to be too, like, he'll probably be a bit grumpy about that. He'll not be too happy about school, but hopefully we'll catch up and it'll be nice. And we'll just have a nice chilled evening tonight. And then back to the routine tomorrow. This week I have got, I really need to start wrapping things for the Christmas boxes. I've got, the yarn hasn't arrived yet and one item hasn't arrived yet. And I've just ordered this morning, that's what else I did, ordered a little sweet treat to go in, which is one of my personal favourites. I got some last Christmas and oh my god, they're so good. So I've got one to go in each of the boxes, and a drink. There's always a sweet treat and a drink in my boxes. So yeah, got those ordered this morning too. So I've got, yeah, the yarn, one more item to come, and then the things I ordered this morning still to come. But I've got lots of the other items that I need to wrap up. So yeah, I've got that to do. That's going to be a this week job. Definitely get that done this week. Hopefully the boxes may start going out next week if I've received everything. So that would be good. It's such a huge wait once they go off, go out and can reach their customers. Can't wait for that point. And then I can focus on making other things in my shop, which has taken a bit of a backseat lately because there's just been a lot of other things going on. And I seem to have been in video mode this month. I've been making lots of videos and made a few extra videos. Obviously I talked about the video I made last week for my scarf. I'm going to just show you it in case you didn't see. I've got it sitting here, that's why. My big marled scarf, my scrappy project. I made the video last week on how I'm making it. So hopefully that will be a this week job too, get that up. So there's a few things that I need to do this week, or I would like to do. So hopefully I'll get those done. But yeah, not too stressy, not feeling stressed about it or anything like that. So yeah, gonna just sit and have a little downtime today. I haven't actually worked on my crochet blanket this weekend. I must sit and do a little bit on that. So yeah, I've got lots of crafty plans this weekend, which is nice. Yesterday I ended up going out for a walk in the afternoon to the beach, which was lovely. I didn't film it because the previous vlog had a lot of beachy footage in it and I didn't really want it to just be the same as that. The last vlog is uploading as I speak. It's a long one, so if you're here, I'm assuming you've watched the previous video as well, and I hope it was okay. There was a lot of chat in it. I don't know if it was that interesting, but yeah, there's a lot of chat. So I hope it was okay. It was, yeah, quite a long video. I'll try not have this one quite so long. It's taken a while to upload with it being so big as well, so hopefully that'll be up later today. Right, I'm gonna get some knitting done and drink this while it's still hot because it's already been reheated once, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later on.
Wish that I could find the words to describe you now, as I'm lying next to you and the world goes quiet. Wish that I could make you see how you fit me perfectly, and I fall for you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands. In a world where hope grows thin, you've completed me. And the story left within tells me how to breathe. Wish that I could make you see how you fit me perfectly, and I fall for you again. We've been through it all. You're the one who understands.
I've just done a really fun little painting here. I just copied what was on the screen, but I really enjoyed that, and I often find that copying someone else doodling is a really good way to learn how to do stuff. It really boosts my confidence. I didn't copy what she did with the jumper pattern. She did like cables, but I didn't feel comfortable doing that pattern, so I'm happy with the cardigan. The hats ended up a bit messy, but I like the little blanket. I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, I didn't copy exactly what she did, but mainly most of the things she did. This is a YouTube channel that I used, Nia it's called, and she's got loads of, they're not really tutorials, it's just sort of draw along with her and she tells you what she's doing. So I guess it is, yeah, she does call them tutorials. So there's all different types of themed ones. There's another autumnal one there. I might have another go at that one actually. It's got some lovely big toadstools. It's got the umbrella again, so there's things there that I'll repeat, which is quite good. I'll get a bit more practice. I like the idea of doing some leaves. I really struggle today with drawing leaves. This is amazing. Like, they draw desserts and things, they look incredible. But there's loads on this channel. I know there's loads of other channels out there too. I'm trying not to get too overwhelmed, but this was really good fun. Probably been sat here for an hour and a half, I don't know, but that was a lot of fun. That is exactly the sort of thing I want to try doing more of. Needs a bit of work, definitely. Some of the pictures are better than others. Happy with my apple, my toadstools. I would like to work a bit more on things like shadows and stuff, but I am pretty sure she's talked about that in another video, and De Winton Papercraft as well, or whatever they're called, De Winton Paint Company, I can't remember. They've got lots of good videos too. So yeah, it's getting dark now, the wind is getting up, and it's good timing because I think Joshua is almost home.
Walk me in the morning sun. notion that I could be brave. Is there anything good on the radio? Turn it up loud and let me know how it used to be before anyone heard of you and me. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great. Running out of town just to celebrate. The fortune's here to stay. A one-way ticket to a better day.
Good afternoon, it's Monday. It's just past about 2 o'clock, I think. I am having a very sleepy day. I feel very tired. I haven't really vlogged much today. Yeah, the odd bit here and there. I'm tired today, so I decided to have quite an easy day maybe, and do something that didn't require too much brain work. So I have been starting to pack the Christmas boxes, or rather the items in them. I've started to do some wrapping, so I'm going to hold up some of the things just now that are wrapped. So if you want to see what they look like wrapped, you can have a look. If you don't want to see, look away now. If you've got one of the boxes, then yeah, you either want to see it or you want a surprise. So just wrapped up some of these ones for now. So you've got a few little parcels. I've tried to make them look pretty. There's a slight sort of colour, going with some different colours here. You can look back now. So I've started wrapping. I've got something else that I'm going to wrap now, and then I'm waiting on some packaging for other items, and I've still to receive 3 things. I think I said 2 yesterday, but actually it's 3 plus the drink and the treat. So still got a few items still to come, so I'll be doing a bit more wrapping probably next week as well, and then hopefully get them out. But yeah, I just had to do a bit of a stock take on what I've got in terms of packaging. So yeah, everything's going fine. It's quite nice just to sit here, wrap all the little parcels. I've put on some vlogs, caught up with my pals. I think once I'm going to wrap one more thing actually, because I have got some tissue paper to wrap that in. And once I've done that, I think I will continue with a bit of sewing. I'm on the home stretch with the first batch of the bags, so the next step for those would be to put in the drawstrings. I have got a new toy for putting drawstrings in. My friend and yours, Paula, who is stitched by Mrs. D, sent me a message last week. I had filmed that I was using my trusty safety pin to put drawstrings in bags, and she's like, Rachel, no, you need to get yourself one of these. And she showed me what she's got, so I've got one, and I'll have a go at that, see how I get on with using that in my bags. Obviously I can't show you because I can't show you the bags at the moment, but once I get the Christmas stuff out of the way, I hope to be able to make more things for my shop, and I can show you it then. Hopefully I get the hang of it, because it's looks a bit of a mystery to me at the moment, but should make things a heck of a lot faster, which is nice. I'm frozen. I've got a coffee, I've got my hot water bottle, and I'm frozen. We did have a bit of a storm last night. We just got a lot of wind and rain, no damage here. You'll have seen a little bit of footage there with all the leaves had gathered on my drive. I would imagine at one point they were just doing that thing where they just swirl for ages and gather, so I must get out today and pick them up, otherwise they're just going to blow everywhere else. Yeah, that's about it. Joshua's back at school today. I'm going to make chicken pie for tea. I think he really likes proper home cooked meals, things like chicken pie, cottage pie, that kind of stuff, and he really does appreciate his mum's cooking, I think, so I'm going to do that tonight. Chicken pie tonight, and we'll have cottage pie, or shepherd's pie? Cottage pie tomorrow night, because I've already got mince cooked in the freezer, so I just need to take that out and make some mashed potato for the top, and probably some dumplings as well, because that's how we like it. So I'm glad I've got a couple of nights of dinners thought through. So yeah, just going to be a nice chilled evening, I hope. Hopefully get early nights. We didn't manage to get very early nights last night, which was a big mistake. He was telling me all about London though. He really enjoyed it. He wants to move there, which I'm surprised at, because he is a very big introvert. He doesn't like crowds or people or busy things or noisy things, so I was really surprised that he liked it, but he was impressed with how efficient things were, especially in terms of public transport and stuff like that. But he was telling me all about his trip, and it was nice to hear. yeah, I feel really just sleepy today and not very chatty, I don't think. So yeah, I'll just continue with my afternoon wrapping and watching vlogs. I really enjoyed my little painting session yesterday, like really enjoyed it. It's given me that little bit of confidence now in terms of just how to even get started and how to, the order of doing things, because yeah, I like the look of using the pen as well, so yeah, that was good. I want to have lots more time to play, and I'm at that point now where I'm just becoming obsessed and I'm thinking about it and I'm watching videos on it and I want to do it, but I don't think I'm going to have time anytime soon. But I would like to, definitely want to do more. Really enjoyed it. Love how my little jumper turned out, and some of the other things actually have dried really nicely. So yeah, I'm going to get the bug, I think. I'm going to get the painting bug. Yeah, I would like to get into doing a bit more of that. When I'm going to have time for that, as well as knitting and crocheting and reading and cooking, I have no idea. But yeah, it's nice to have hobbies that you're excited about, isn't it? Right, I will get on.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. And out of a sudden, you came through the door. At the next table, you're whisking me.
It's about 6:30 and I fed my starter about 2 o'clock, and it's definitely grown because that's where I left the band at the top of the volume, and it's grown by at least 1 centimetre. So I think we've got a happy starter there. Should be bubbling away even more inside. Oh, lovely. It's doing its thing. I should be able to bake with that pretty soon. I wonder if I can start the process tomorrow. That would be quite nice. Just having a quick look at this sourdough book just for a guide, and I think I might be able to start my sourdough tomorrow. It does seem like it's ready to go, and I would like a loaf for Wednesday. That would be nice. So that means that if I start proceedings tomorrow, I could cook on Wednesday, so that's quite exciting.
Oh my child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt.
Good morning, it's Tuesday. I got a lot of nice comments on the recipes that I shared in the previous vlog. I'm going to share a really quick recipe with you now. As I've said before, my recipes, I just throw stuff together. So I'm going to make some baked oats this morning for my breakfast. I'm not in any rush to leave the house this morning, so I have time, and I need kind of something a bit different for breakfast. I'm getting a bit fed up with the same things, and baked oats is a really nice breakfast. It's so comforting. It's basically you're making porridge, but you're going to bake it in the oven. You add an egg, so it sets a bit harder so you can kind of slice it, and I like to have a slab of that with some Greek yogurt and a little bit of fruit, and it is so nice, especially on cold wintry mornings. It just feels like a real comfort food treat. You can adapt it to any flavour combination you like. Today I'm going to use apple and cinnamon. You can do banana and chocolate chip, banana and peanut butter, blueberry and almond. You could even do a carrot cake version with grated carrot and raisins and almonds and mixed spice. You can get quite creative. You can use whatever you've got. You could do pear and ginger, that'd be lovely. You could swirl jam around it if you don't have any fruit. But today I'm going to use an apple. I've got a few apples in the fruit bowl being used up, so I'm going to do apple and cinnamon. I'm going to add in some seeds as well, and I'm going to show you just how quick and easy it is to prepare. Sometimes what I do is I get up out of bed, come downstairs and make it, pop it in the oven, and then while I'm getting a shower and getting dressed, it can be cooking in the oven, and then when I come down, it's ready for me. So yeah, it does take a bit of time in the oven, but you can leave it and go and do other things. And you can also make it up ahead, so even if I make extras today, I can heat it up again for tomorrow or the rest of the week. So that's what I'm planning to do, make one big enough for a couple of days. So let's get on with it. The oven is heating up and I've got my ingredients out, so I'm just going to show you the assembly. You need an oven dish. I'm just going to use one this size because I know I'll get 2 or 3 portions out of that. You need oats, milk, an egg, and whatever flavours you want to add. So I've got an apple, cinnamon, I've also got some seeds which I'll throw in there as well. So I'm going to grate my apple up first. Right, I have grated my apple, so I'm going to add in a couple of scoops of porridge oats to my tub, to my bowl. I think I might get about 3 portions from this, and I know that half a scoop is usually enough for me, so I'll just add 3 times the normal amount. And we're going to add in an egg, which I'll do first, and that way I can see how much milk I need. I'm also going to add in just a little bit of vanilla just for some more flavour. So add in an egg, and I might as well just add in my apple at this point. That was a pretty big apple, so there's a lot going in there. This is a nice sweet eating apple. If it was a cooking apple, I'd maybe add in a bit of honey just for added sweetness so it wasn't too sour. And then add in some milk. You want it to be quite wet because it will bake out in the oven. And then I'm going to throw in a good generous amount of cinnamon, and I'm going to put in half a teaspoon of baking powder as well, if I can get it open. Just to give it a little rise, and we'll give all that a stir. I might need a bit more milk because the oats will soak up a lot of milk. And one of the really good things that I've discovered about this is that if you leave it in the oven and get sidetracked or forget about it, the more milk you've got in it, it won't dry out. So I've done this before when I've come back from the gym and gone to get a shower and get dressed and all that, which usually takes me a bit more than sort of 20 minutes. Just put in loads of extra milk, and then I know I can leave it for that little bit longer in the oven and it won't dry out. And another good thing about this is once it does start to stay in the oven for a little bit longer, it gets nice and chewy around the edges, which is a really nice thing. I think it's a bit like how brownies get better when they get chewier. So it's maybe a bit wet, but that's fine. I'm going to sprinkle in some seeds as well because I really do like eating seeds. Actually, I was going to add in some flax seeds just for goodness as well. This will also help dry it out a little bit because the flax seeds will soak up a bit of the liquid. Flax seeds are really good for you in many ways, so I just like to add in a few where I can. You can also put chia seeds in. In fact, I maybe will. Just let's take the chance to get in as much goodness as we can. Right, there we go. And then I know that my breakfast the next few days are really full of so much goodness. You could put coconut in there as well, or any sort of dried flakes. You can get mango flakes and things like that as well. Anything would be really good. So I'm going to have a few pinches of sunflower seeds, and I've got pumpkin seeds here as well. And I think that will be it. We could, there's so many things I could add, but I'll try and be restrained this time. So I kind of would like some sat on the top, so I might just leave some on the top as well there for a little bit of extra crunch and texture. And I'm going to pop that in the oven about 180 degrees for about 20 minutes, and then I could check on it and see if it needs any longer to firm up, but the texture really can be up to you. I don't want mine too sloppy. I would like it to be a bit firmer, on the firmer side, so I'll keep an eye on it. We don't stir it again, that's it stirred. We leave it in the oven now to set, basically. So yeah, I'm going to pop it in the oven.
Wake up, honey, I made you breakfast. Fresh coffee and bagels too. A new day is waiting for us. We got lots of fun stuff to do. Let's go to the zoo and feed the monkeys. I can lend them your baseball cap. Let's make the day a very lot of fun. Growing up is just a trap. Don't it seem like a drag? Like putting all of your joy in a big brown bag. I won't listen to any of that jazz. No, I'll never grow up. I'll never grow up. Growing up is just a big fat trap. I take pride in never working a day. Can't see the use of it anyway.
I've got so many of these plants, the Schlumberger I think it's called, that are flowering just now. So these are often known as Thanksgiving cactuses, cacti, or Easter if they flower at Easter, or Christmas if they flower at Christmas. But I've got quite a few that are in bud at the moment, and a couple of them, or one at least, has definitely never flowered yet. So I'm really happy to see that they're flowering. I didn't water them a lot over the summer, just a little bit once they dried out, so I think that's been the key for me. But this one is rather frilly, blousy, I think that's what you call it. But it's looking rather lovely, and it's got quite a few buds there. And this one sits in my bedroom. It does get a nice bit of light there as well. It's very dusty. I've actually got quite a lot of these dotted around the house. This is another one. It does have a slightly different leaf shape, so maybe it will flower at different time of year. I know they do say you can tell by the leaf shape when they're going to flower, but I have had a completely different experience, and I have also read that they'll flower when they're happy. So your Christmas cactus could also flower at Easter, etc. So there's no buds on this one, which is fine. I have been experimenting with quite a few of them, just moving them around. So this one's now on the windowsill for a bit more light, which they should like, and you're supposed to move them somewhere a bit darker after they've flowered, because they go dormant for a while. So I've moved this one to the windowsill to see if the light helps a little bit. And I'm in the sewing room, and I do have another one in here. I'm going to swing you round. You'll get a little look at my shelves here. I've got yarn in there, yarn in there, yarn in there. Here's another one looking really good as well, and it's absolutely covered in buds actually. So this one's in not direct light as in the windowsill, but it does get light most of the day, all day. It's a really light room here. It's a south facing room, so yeah, that one's covered in buds. I don't think I've ever had one quite so full of buds as that one. I watch Green Lambkin Yarns vlogs, and if you've ever seen hers, she's got one of these in her fireplace, and it is so long. It must be really old. I'm quite sure that flowers at Christmas, so I'll need to ask Suzanne what her secret is. Let me know, Suzanne, if you're watching.
People knew her by her will, to make it whatever she put her mind to. Late night hours up the hill, serving coffee to strangers, talking about revenue. She kept dreaming of a world big enough for everyone, but she knew it must rain before it grows. She kept dreaming of the day butterflies survived the wheel, even though she got knocked down and never showed. Dear Lily, where'd you go? Where's your heart at? Why'd you fall back? Lately your afterglow is shining brighter, way
This is take 2. I've just filmed a little bit, or started filming, and I've got project bags in shot, so I've had to start again, move the camera. Yes, about 2:30 I have come upstairs to do some sewing. Got my hot water bottle as always, just had a cup of tea to try and warm up because it's chilly. This morning I've packed orders and sent orders. Thank you if you've ordered anything from my shop. I've been to the post office. I went to Aldi just for a little change. It wasn't that exciting, to be honest. Didn't need to get a lot, so I suppose I wasn't looking to buy a lot, but just like to go to a different supermarket now and then just for a wee change. Usually go to Lidl. It's a bit closer and easier to get to, I find, but yeah, I did used to go to Aldi. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about supermarkets. I have just finished editing the vlog that I made on how I'm making my marled knitted scrappy scarf. So hopefully I will have that up maybe tonight. It is done in quite a vloggy style rather than like a traditional professional looking tutorial kind of video. It's not a tutorial, it's just showing how I'm doing my video. So it's turned out longer than I thought it would, but hopefully if you are thinking of trying one, it might help you get started, answer a few questions, or even give you some inspiration if you're not thinking of trying one. So yeah, if you're interested in that, give it a watch. If it's not something you're interested in, just skip that video. It will be up on YouTube all the time, so if at any point in the future you have lots of scrappy bits of yarn you want to use up, then you can come back and have a look. It got me thinking that I could do other projects, because I like the marled look so much. I could do other projects using two skeins of yarns, because I've got a lot of 4-ply yarn that I don't know what to do with, but I could always use it in like a marled project. If I did like a shawl just all in 2 colours of a marl, that would be quite nice. I'd love a marled jumper, but I don't quite know if I'm at that stage. I've never knitted a garment yet. Anyway, so hopefully I'll have that video done. That's nice, because I wasn't exactly planning to do that today, but it just ended up that way. That's kind of how I work. I don't really plan too much. But that video needed to get done, so I'm glad it's done. I'm going to sit and sew now and get on with the project bags. I'm going to find maybe something to watch. I seem to be getting a really tickly throat. Something to watch, or I'll pop on some music while I work. Yeah, and hopefully have a productive afternoon. Good morning. My dough is looking pretty good. I've just done the first, or it's called the shape. So I've just pulled it into shape and I have to leave it there for 10 minutes. So I'll get my breakfast. And then after this part, it will go into my banneton to shape it. I'll have to wash this because it's just new, but I will line it with a tea towel instead. And then it will sit in there for an hour or so. I am planning on going to the gym, so it can do its thing while I go to the gym. And then I'm going to bake it when I get back, and I'll be able to have some for lunch. that is pretty exciting. It's got some lovely bubbles on it. I can see here, you can see one coming up here as well. And when I was folding it, you could see the bubbles too. So I think that's a good sign. Remember, I halved the recipe, so it's just going to be a little one. That's why there doesn't look like there's much dough. But I would say it definitely doubled overnight, which is a good sign. I don't really know what I'm looking for in terms of how I know if it's going to turn out good or not, but we'll find out. It's all a learning process. So I'm going to get my breakfast now, and then I keep having to come back, reading the book, seeing what's next. But next I have to, yeah, put it in the bowl, so do that shortly. I haven't been working on my blanket that much lately, but I did do a little bit last night, so I thought it would be nice to get it out in daylight and have a proper look, because when I'm working on it in the evening, I've just got my cosy lighting on and it's not always that easy to see the colours. In fact, it's really difficult to see the colours at night, especially distinguishing between the pink and the peach sometimes. But yeah, I've done, I think this row is new since I showed the blanket in the last video. So I really haven't worked on it a lot, although it might look like I've got quite a few squares done. Got another 2 to go on this row, and then I'll be back onto another row of the big ones, which feels quite nice. Like the big ones should go quicker, but not really, because they're bigger, so they'll take just as much time really. But it's nice to be working on the big ones, because then I feel like I've reached another milestone, I guess. I do hope that I'll get a bit more time to work on it, but now I've got my other little knitting pattern on the go, which is here. Give you a little peek. I'll show you that later on maybe. I'm drawn more to doing this at the moment, but I've reached a point in this where I need to do some shaping and some thinking, so I'm going to save that until I can think about it properly, I think, rather than just picking it up 5 minutes here and there. So it's back to the blanket. I have actually started the next big square, because I got mixed up on my rows and I thought I was ready to do big squares, but I wasn't. So that one's going in there next. I think I'll outline that with the mustard, and then yeah, it's just a case of deciding what colour to have the next big squares. I always have to lay it out to check. That's the annoying thing about a big granny blanket like this with the squares. If it was just stripes, it would be easier to check, I guess, but I don't want to have too many repetitions of the same colour in one area. But yeah, maybe get a chance to get back to this again some evenings. That would be nice. It's still nice just to look at and have sat there next to the couch, and the basket still looks good too. I really hate the way the big balls go so floppy though. I've rewound a lot of them into little neater balls. It does take a while, and I mustn't, it feels like I've not used so much of this cream because it's not going down much, and I just know that winding that one up is going to take forever, so I'll hold off just now until I've maybe used a bit more of it. The balls look really appealing in the basket there. I do like seeing all the colours. So right, I better tidy this up because we're not working on this just now. I've got my little jingly bell stitch marker in there too, a little pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern if you're from the States. These are little jingly bells, and you can still get these in my shop if you'd like one for yourself. I am back from the gym. My sourdough is in the oven. I hope I've not messed about the recipe too much because I did half the recipe. I don't know what that means in terms of the timings though, whether it will still need just as long to bake or not. So I've put it in for a little bit less, and I've taken the lid off after a little while, I'm wondering, I can smell things, but I think it might be the food in front of me. I can't wait to see this loaf. I really hope it's worked. I did try sourdough before a few years ago, and I don't ever think I got the perfect sourdough. They usually tended to come out more so on the wet side, I think, so it needed a bit of playing about with. So I hope this one turns out good. Anyway, I'm having a wee snack. I'm having a coffee the size of my head. I've got some milk to get through, so I've basically got about this much milk, and I ran an espresso pod through my Nespresso machine, can't speak, about 3 times just to get some coffee in here. So I'm just enjoying that. And I'm having a slab of my baked oats. I didn't have a big breakfast this morning, so I couldn't eat a lot first thing in the morning. So I'm just having it now. It's 11 o'clock, so hopefully in a couple of hours time I'll be ready for some lunch and can have some of my sourdough with my soup that I got out of the freezer yesterday. It's definitely a day to get on with some project bags. I've got lots to get done, lots to finish, put the drawstrings in, and also wrap those for the Christmas boxes. I have been told by Royal Mail that I'm getting a couple of deliveries today as well, so that's good. 1 or 2 of those items will need wrapping. One of the makers actually wrapped everything in that order, one of the orders for me, which I couldn't believe she did that, but I'm so pleased she did. So that's one less thing that I've got to wrap. So I feel like we're on the home stretch with these Christmas boxes. Couple more things still to arrive. The yarn is still to arrive. I don't actually think it's been dyed yet. So yeah, I'm waiting on that one, and one more thing, and I think that should be it. So the end is nearly in sight, which feels so nice. Oh, such a big focus when I do a box. If you haven't been around here before, I've done themed boxes for quite a few years now. It started off being a box with a project bag and a yarn to match and some other little gifts, and I would do them themed throughout the year. So we had themes such as houseplants, cats. I did one for the January blues. That was fun. I had a really fluorescent pink yarn from James Makes Things in that one, or James Makes Yarn. I always get that mixed up. I can't remember what other themes we've had now. There's been a few autumn ones, and then I've done some summer ones, like Summer in the Garden. I can't remember what else I've done now, but there's been so many, and I've enjoyed doing them so much, and getting little themed gifts to go in everything. Really enjoyed that. And for quite a few years now I've done a Christmas box as well, so yeah, I'm quite experienced at putting them together, and I really do enjoy sourcing all the things that go in with them. Right, I'm going to finish my coffee and my food before it goes cold. Here is my sourdough loaf. It's cooked, it sounds hollow, it's got a bit of a, oh yummy, smells good. I'm not happy with the shape. I think from the shape it's kind of pillowed out a little bit like a pita bread would. I'm not very happy with that, and that's what happened the last time, and I've not got a good defined like ear in there either. That should be really lifted up when I cut it. And this is what happened the last time I was making sourdough a few years ago, and I just got really disheartened with it because I could never seem to get it to be just right. So I'm hoping that I don't end up like that this time. I mean, it's still edible, tastes fine, looks fine, maybe not to the experts, but I will try again. I won't give up. I'll try again, and I just need to add a bit less water to my dough and have another go. Sourdough and using flours in general can vary from home to home, just the different environments can play a part in it. Different flours soak up the liquid differently, and it's just all a whole learning process with sourdough, and I think that's why people get so addicted to it, because they want to master it. And I'm sure once you do master it, it feels great. So I'm going to cut into this, see what it's like inside. It has cooled down now. Let's have a look. Hey, that looks all right, you know. I'm not too unhappy with how it looks inside. It is wet. I mean, it's shiny there, but it's not wet wet. But it's definitely tacky-ish. I mean, not raw, but if I was to pick some of that, and it would just sort of, yeah, I'm not entirely happy with that. I can see that it is a bit wet as well. I mean, it's cooked, but it's got a sheen to it, so... And the dough, the crust was quite rubbery there too to cut through, so I'm fine with it. I mean, it's edible, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's a learning process, and next time we'll tweak it a little bit and try something else. But certainly happy to eat that, will not go to waste. It does taste nice. It tastes really nice. The texture is a little bit like, you know, if you have a crumpet, and it's just got that. It's a different texture to bread. It is a sort of a wetter dough, but I mean, it's not gooey or raw or anything like that. It's not got a very high tang to it either. I am wondering if I can tweak the amount of sourdough starter that goes into it as well, but let's not run before we can walk. I'll just stick to changing one thing at a time. I'm glad I just made the smaller bread loaf as well, because I haven't wasted so much ingredients, so I can have another go, see how much of that when we get eaten today. I'll be having some with my soup for lunch, and probably have some with dinner as well, which is going to be a nice veggie ragu pasta dish. I think I mentioned that before, so probably get through that one in no time. I think it'll be delicious toasted as well. But yeah, here on starts the journey to getting it right. I'm just sitting up here working away on the project bags. I thought I could chat to you while I'm doing so, and I've just made another realisation. I got a couple of emails about my parcels that are coming today, and it said they'll be here between 10:30 and 12:30, which is obviously an approximation and it's not accurate. It's now about 1 o'clock and the parcels haven't arrived, and just like I said the other day about when I'm waiting on workmen to come in, or an appointment or something, I just can't settle. And it's like, I haven't wanted to get into something and get all settled because I know the postman's going to come. Part of me has worried about putting the sewing machine on and not hearing the doorbell, although I have got a plug-in doorbell and I've got one plugged in next to me that I can see and it lights up, so I should be covered. But I've just got that antsy feeling, that anxiousness about the postman's going to be here any minute, and I've been looking out the window and all that thing, which is so stupid. And I just had the thought that if I hadn't had those emails, I would just be getting on with my day. It wouldn't stop me doing anything, would it? Whereas now that I know that they're supposed to be coming, it's making me like not want to sit and get into doing a job. It's so weird the way our brains work, isn't it? And I know some of you commented the other day about not liking workmen coming either and having appointments and stuff. So I know I'm not alone. I got the video for my scarf tutorial, that's not a tutorial, uploaded last night. I got it all edited yesterday and I uploaded it last night, so I'm glad that's done. That's another job ticked off the list, which is good. Turns out I did have project bags on show in the background at one point, but I figured out a really easy way to hide them. So if you watch that video, you'll see there's a little square on the screen at one point. Where would it be? This side? This side. It's on one of the sides and it's just down the bottom corner and it's covering the bags. So I'm pleased that A, I noticed, and B, I figured out how to do it in an easy way. I've already had a few comments on that video, so if you've watched it, thank you so much. Thank you for comments on my last video as well. I kind of edited that last vlog and thought, oh my god, it's so boring. It's just me chatting away to camera, not even saying anything useful. It's so boring. And then I uploaded it and I got loads of nice comments. So just want to share that even though someone looks like they're all confident, got their life together and their business together, we still have moments of complete self-doubt like that. And also I want to just acknowledge that all I've done is moan about my sourdough. I'm not like moaning about it that much. I'm a bit of a perfectionist with some things, and I just want to get it right, because I know from the last time I struggled as well, and I don't want it to get me down this time and put me off. And yeah, I am. It's like I can be a perfectionist sometimes, whereas other times I'm like, oh, it'll do. The job's done, it's fine. So it's a bit strange. I think because I can see lots of other people get it right and get it done perfect, I want to be able to do it perfect. So yeah, that's why I'm a bit overly critical with the bread. If you are a seasoned sourdough maker and have any tips, then please let me know, but I'm pretty certain it's the water ratio in the bread, so I'll play about with that. But yeah, just wanted to come on and point out why I was moaning about it so much. It's about 2:30 on Friday afternoon. I haven't really filmed much today because Fridays are just orders, post office, supermarket, and I give the house a bit of a clean and a tidy as well so that it stays nice and tidy over the weekend. Usually my son is at his dad's, so without a teenager in the house stays a little bit tidier for a while. So I've just been doing that. I've got lovely beef stew in the oven. I'm going to have that for dinner tomorrow so that I don't have to cook tomorrow. I haven't cooked with beef for ages, but I do like it, and I don't cook often enough with red meat. I've also had another go at a sourdough loaf. I added a bit less water to see what it would be like. I'm a bit happier with how this one looks. I've just finished off the last one for my lunch. So I've got the new one for over the weekend. Yeah, I won't go on about the sourdough too much. I feel like I've mentioned it too much in this vlog already. I edited the vlog yesterday, and despite me saying I was going to keep it shorter this time, it was coming out at way over an hour, so I cut out loads of bits of me just chatting on. So it wouldn't be too long. I did pick up my blanket a little earlier on just to add in the next big square, but I've come across a bit of a problem. I've made a mistake, so I'm going to have to try and show you. So I went to add the big square in here, joining it across these two, and I just start here, and then I got all the way to here, and I was like, I haven't got the right number of stitches, and I couldn't figure it out at all. But turns out, as you can just sort of see, this one is splaying out a bit because I've got the wrong number of stitches in here. So I've got 9 clusters there. There should only be 8, which means I've got an extra cluster here. Yeah, so I'm going to have to pick that one out. I think, am I going to be able to? Yeah, I'm going to just have to try and figure out how to untie a knot and undo it, and then should be okay to wedge it back in. I can stitch that in, I think, so I can save it. Phew, it's fine, but I could not figure out why it wasn't fitting, because I was like, my square that I'm adding in, it's this one, I was like, I've got the right number of stitches, I've got the right number of rounds, I just couldn't figure it out. It was hurting my head. So yeah, so I'm ready to start the next row of the bigger squares, so that will be the job next. Not sure how much time I'll get to work on it over the weekend. We'll see. Hoping to get out for a walk at the weekend. Really need a nice good long country walk. It's a bit drizzly and wet today, so hopefully the weekend will be a bit better. But yeah, it's been a busy week, and I don't feel like there's been a lot to vlog, although the vlog has still ended up long, so I'm not going to talk for too much longer. But if you've made it this far, I've got a treat for you. I did mention this a little while ago, a few months ago now actually. I always get comments, lovely comments, on the music that I use in my vlogs, and I love choosing the music for my vlogs. I love fitting the right tune, the right words to what's happening, and I just really love getting the atmosphere with the songs. And yeah, I get a lot of comments about the music and saying how much you enjoy it, and exactly that, how it fits in with the vlog and what's on screen. I do subscribe to a music service that I can use on vlogs. So it's like is it royalty free, or I can't remember what the term is. So I pay to be able to use this music in my vlogs. However, I've done a bit of rooting about, and it turns out you can access the music from other places. It just means that you can't put it on a public platform. So you couldn't play it in your shop, like if you had a public shop or a hairdresser's, you couldn't play it there. But you can listen to it for personal use. So my gift to you, I've made you a playlist. Made you a playlist of songs and music that I use on my vlogs. Just some of them, some of my most favourite ones, but there's quite a lot on there, and I will add to it over time because I'll find new music. So in the description box below, if you go and have a look, you will find the link to the playlist. Now it's on Spotify, and that can be free for you to use. If you use the free service, you'll probably get ads popping up in between the songs. But if you have a Spotify subscription, you can listen to it without ads. I'm not sure how it will come up, but I would highly recommend you shuffle the playlist before you play it, otherwise you'll get like a lot of the same artists all in one because of the way that I added them. So I would shuffle it. It's a lovely playlist. I've been listening to it so much. I put it on in the car, or when I'm out and about, or just when I'm in the house working, and I really, really like the songs on it. So I hope you like it a lot. It's of no cost to you, and you don't have to subscribe to Spotify or anything like that, so it's completely free to you. I would say I do have a coffee account, so if at any point you did want to send me a little coffee to thank me for any of the stuff that I do here on YouTube for free, the information is down below in the box as well, but you're under no obligation to give me anything at all. It's just anything would be greatly appreciated. I am going to, got one more job to do. I've got another floor to clean, and then my Friday jobs are done, which is always a great feeling. But I've got, my deliveries came the other night actually. They came quite late in the day. They didn't come to 6:30, and the poor postie was apologising, saying that they're starting to get bogged down already. That is obviously in the lead up to Christmas. So yeah, just a note, if you're waiting on orders from small businesses or big businesses, please be patient. They're in the system. Royal Mail is already getting backed up. So my deliveries came, so I've got another item there that needs wrapping, so I think I'll do that this afternoon. I think I'll go and get cosy upstairs in the sewing room, get a cup of tea, put on some vlogs and wrap that item, and then I've got most of the things wrapped and I'm just waiting on the yarn to come next week. And yeah, next week is going to be all go, I think, which is exciting, and I can't wait for this time next week when hopefully Christmas boxes should be starting to leave the building. Right, I am going to get on with something useful. Thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to go and check out that playlist. I know you're going to love it. And I will see you next week for part 5 of my Vlogtober videos. Bye for now.
Sometimes love is a river running strong, moving like a wave through a rocky riverbed. Sometimes